I still remember the sound of the ocean the first night I slept in that house. The waves didn't just crash against the shore. They felt like applause. Like the universe whispering, "You did this, Cristina. On your own." But that same house, the one I worked 12 years for, became the place where I finally understood something devastating. Blood doesn't always mean loyalty. The first time my mother saw the beach house, she didn't hug me, she looked around and said, "It's perfect for family gatherings," not, "I'm proud of you," not, "You earned this," just what it could do for everyone else. I laughed it off. I always laughed things off. Growing up, I was the responsible one, the quiet achiever. My older brother Daniel, he was the golden child. If he needed money, they found it. If I needed help, I figured it out. So when I signed the papers alone, no CO signer, no family contribution, no inheritance. It felt bigger than just property. It was freedom, but freedom makes entitled people uncomfortable. Within weeks, my parents started referring to it as our beach house. Daniel began inviting his friends. My mother asked where her bedroom would be. I should have seen it then. I didn't, because I still wanted to believe family meant support, not strategy. I wasn't supposed to be there that weekend. That's what makes it almost poetic. I had a cancelled work trip, so I decided to surprise myself with a quiet ocean Saturday. Instead, I pulled into the driveway and saw 3 unfamiliar cars: my father's truck, my brother's SUV, and a rental moving van. At first, I thought something happened. Maybe they were setting up a surprise party. But when I walked up to the front door, my key didn't work. I tried again. Nothing. That's when I heard laughter inside. My laughter. My house. My furniture. I knocked. Daniel opened the door like he lived there. "Oh, you're here." Not shocked, not apologetic, just mildly inconvenienced. They had moved in, rearranged my living room, hung family photos on my walls. My mother hugged me like I was a guest. We thought it would make more sense if we all used it. It's too much house for one person. Too much. I worked overtime shifts until 2 a.m. for that. Too much. My father casually added, "Besides, it stays in the family this way." It already was in the family, mine. But that night, I didn't scream. I smiled and I started planning. Betrayal is loud at first, then it becomes quiet, calculating. I went back to my city apartment and started checking everything: mortgage, documents, property deed, insurance. That's when I found something that made my stomach drop. My father had contacted a lawyer. He tried to argue that because I bought the house while financially intertwined with family support during my early 20s, they had partial equity interest. He failed, but the attempt. That told me everything. Daniel was already telling people the beach house was a family investment. He'd never invested $1. That's when I realized something terrifying. They weren't visiting, they were staging a takeover. So I did what they didn't expect. I hired my own attorney. I installed remote security cameras. I legally clarified sole ownership protections, and then I waited, because revenge doesn't scream. It documents. I gave them 2 weeks. 2 weeks to leave voluntarily. They laughed at the notice. My mother cried on the phone. "How can you do this to your family?" But here's the question nobody asked. How could they do that to me? On eviction day, I arrived before sunrise. The locksmith changed every lock. Security codes reset. police cruiser parked outside. When Daniel pulled up with coffee in his hand and couldn't get in, the look on his face was worth every legal fee. He pounded on the door. My father shouted about respect. My mother sobbed dramatically. The officer calmly explained trespassing laws, and I stood there, heart racing but steady. For once, I wasn't the quiet one. You tried to take something I built. You don't get access to me or my property anymore. Neighbors watched. Whispers darted, and that's when my aunt, my mother's sister, walked over quietly and said something that changed everything. They did this to me too. Years ago, my parents tried to claim partial rights to her business. When it became successful, she cut them off. I wasn't the first. I was just the one who finally stopped the pattern publicly. And that public humiliation? It shattered their illusion of control. They told relatives I'd abandoned the family, that I'd changed. They were right. I had, because something shifts inside you the moment you choose yourself over guilt. The beach house became quiet after that, but it felt different, stronger. The ocean didn't just applaud anymore. It echoed. It reminded me that peace sometimes comes after storms. You create. I went no contact, blocked numbers, ignored manipulation, built boundaries, and here's the twist nobody saw coming. 6 months later, Daniel tried to buy his own condo. The bank denied him. No savings, too much debt, because entitlement doesn't build equity, discipline does. My mother sent one final message. We were just trying to stay close, but love doesn't force entry. Love asks permission. And now, when I sit on that balcony at sunset, I don't feel anger. I feel clarity. They didn't lose a beach house. They lost access to the version of me that tolerated disrespect, and that was never for sale. If you've ever had to choose between family and self-respect, you're not alone. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do isn't forgiving, it's locking the door. If this story resonated with you, like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful family drama stories about strength, boundaries, and reclaiming your life. And remember, you are not selfish for protecting what you built. You are powerful. Thanks for watching. Hoped you liked it. If you watched till the end, please comment revenge so that we could understand you were with us till the end. As well as, please let us know, where are you watching from? What do you want to hear from us in next video? If you have any incident in your life, please let us know. We would love to share your story.